Today I'm going to make some pumpkin snickerdoodle cookies, and I do have to speed up the video a little bit because it's really long. So I'm going to start by creaming together 1.5 cups of sugar, 1/2 cup of softened salted butter, so I will not be adding salt later, and 1/2 cup of vegetable shortening. And once that is creamed together really well for several minutes, I'm going to add in 2 eggs, one at a time, and mix them together. And then in another bowl, I'm going to mix my dry ingredients, which are 2 3/4 cups of flour, 2 teaspoons of cream of tartar, a teaspoon of baking soda. And this is where you would add a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, but again, I'm using salted butter. And then I'm going to sift the dry ingredients into the wet and mix them together. And then I'm going to add in 3/4 cup of pumpkin. I found this recipe from centercutcook.com, and I am going to tweak her recipe just a little bit, but that's where the original recipe came from. And then I'm going to use my cookie dough scoop, and I'm going to scoop the dough onto a parchment-lined cookie sheet, and I'm going to be putting this in the refrigerator for a while, for about 90 minutes. And then the remaining pumpkin I'm going to put in my ice cube trays and freeze them, and then put them in a Ziploc bag so that there is no waste. Now, once the cookie dough balls have been in the refrigerator for about 90 minutes, I'm going to pull them out, and now I'm going to roll them in the cinnamon sugar. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 1 bowl with a 1/4 cup of sugar and 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, and that would be a traditional snickerdoodle sugar roll mixture. But the second bowl I'm going to do is a 1/4 cup of sugar with 1 teaspoon of cinnamon and 1 teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice. And I did make the pumpkin pie spice. I made a video several months back. You can go back and watch that if you'd like. I thought I would just tweak it a little bit and see how it tastes. So the lighter pink bowl is the cinnamon sugar. So the first batch will be just the cinnamon sugar. And then the second batch is going to be the cinnamon sugar with the pumpkin pie spice. I have no idea how this is going to taste, so we're just kind of winging it here. And then the third batch will be a mixture of both. I'm doing about half of each, and I'm going to kind of mix them up on the cookie sheet, see if I can tell the difference. And honestly, you can't. And really, the taste of the pumpkin pie spice it's not as strong as I thought it would be. But these cookies are so delicious, and the pumpkin mixed with the snickerdoodle, it's actually a really, really good flavor. I would definitely recommend giving these a try. They're so delicious and so simple to make, and it makes a lot. So give this one a try, subscribe and follow for more. Enjoy!